Hello everyone, I'm Marshman and welcome to Campus Nightly. Tonight, we'll discuss President Trump's tariffs and what will be affected by them. We'll also discuss the SNL 50th season send-off, a judge in Rhode Island striking down the freeze on federal aid, the dark horses at the Critics' Choice Awards, and lastly, we'll finish with a Campus Nightly exclusive interview with Dean Bryan Crable, the Dean of College of Human Development, Culture, and Media here at Seton Hall. President Trump announced his recent 25% tariffs on neighboring countries Mexico and Canada and 10% tariffs on China to bring manufacturing back to the United States. The president has stated that this plan will have short-term hurt followed by long-term benefits. Now, what is this short-term hurt going to mean for you, the consumer? You can expect to pay higher prices on the following items: avocados, gas, alcohol, maple syrups, metals, toys, electronics, clothing, and lumber. These tariffs have come off as very polarizing to the American people, with Democrats and independents citing his promises to lower inflation for the consumers, while this policy seems to appear as inflationary. However, the president has stated that these tariffs are to incentivize American manufacturers to bring manufacturing back from these other countries to the United States with the long-term goal of having a future in the United States where you do not need to import these goods. Saturday Night Live plans to end its 50th season on a major send-off with massive musical performances and a huge list of A-list cameos. SNL is a name every household in America has been entertaining for 50 years. Its finale will be pulling all of the stops. On Friday the 14th, SNL is hosting their homecoming concert, celebrating their long-standing musical tradition of having live musical performances during the show. The show will feature famous artists from past and present. Some of these names include the Backstreet Boys, Bad Bunny, Lady Gaga, and Dave Grohl, the Foo Fighters. Sunday's season finale will be a 3-hour-long event hosted by some of the show's most popular former cast members and some of its most famous hosts, such as Adam Sandler, John Mulaney, Dave Chappelle, Will Ferrell, Seth Meyers, and Kim Kardashian. Many anticipate the end of 50 years of sketch comedy entertainment, and we can only hope that the pinnacle of sketch comedy will not disappoint. We'll be back after the break.
Great drive fuels the leaders of tomorrow and today. Great vision paves the way for a brighter future. Great ambition goes places, moving onward and upward. Great empathy finds strength in kindness and in each other, working together to create something bigger than they ever imagined. Great minds can change the world, and great minds start at Seton Hall.
I love being on campus, but it's so nice to go into town.
This neighborhood is beautiful. I always love to walk. We can hang out in South Orange or hop on the train for a quick ride to New York City. I love South Orange because it's small, it's safe, and it only took us about 5 minutes to get here.
It's convenient, right?
Oh yeah.
South Orange is the perfect college town. Let's go see what's happening today.
All right.
A federal judge in Rhode Island has deemed President Trump's executive order freezing all federal aid unconstitutional. This comes after the president froze all government aid for United States citizens until he believed the proper spending cuts had been made. This was met with many people being upset and filing for lawsuits due to the cuts being made by DOGE, which is led by Elon Musk, which is not an official department, which resulted in a federal judge deeming it unconstitutional, demanding that aid be resumed as soon as possible. It is cited by many that only Congress has the power to determine the allocation of funds in the federal government. Although a majority in both the House and the Senate, President Trump will likely to look to legislation to pass his cuts rather than executive order. Oscar campaigning is in full swing as actors and producers go on every talk show and podcast pushing for their Oscar award in March. This year we are looking at some heavy hitters with movies like A Complete Unknown, Nosferatu, and Conclave looking like the frontrunners. Although the Critics' Choice Awards may have shown us some dark horses that could be in the mix for these Oscar season. With the movie Anora starring Mikey Madison took home Best Picture, and Adrian Brody took home Best Actor for his role in The Brutalist. Another surprise came from The Substance, which took home 3 awards, which is looking like this Oscar season is going to be very competitive from all angles. The highly anticipated Super Bowl rematch between the Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs turned out to be a complete blowout. The Eagles beat the Chiefs 40-22. The Chiefs star quarterback Patrick Mahomes visibly struggled, while the Eagles star quarterback and Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts absolutely thrived. Throwing for 2 touchdowns and rushing for 1 touchdown, the Eagles' sturdy defense were able to hold Patrick Mahomes to only 257 yards with 3 touchdowns, but another 2 interceptions. Additionally, the Chiefs star tight end Travis Kelce was held to only 4 receptions. Many Hollywood stars were in attendance for the big game, including Pete Davidson, Jay-Z, President Donald Trump, and even Taylor Swift. SHU-TV had one of its very own producers attend the Super Bowl in New Orleans. Here are some of the highlights of Farnsworth Hendrickson's trip. After seeing these highlights, please stick around as we're going to be talking to Dean Crable after this break. So please stay with us.
Are there any challenges, personal challenges that maybe you faced this season that you've had to overcome?
Minnesota for the first part of the season, Minnesota Vikings for the first half, and then I got cut from there mid-season. Didn't really know what was going to happen, and then I got blessed with the opportunity to come here for the second half of the season, and it's been amazing.
What would it mean to you to get a victory on Sunday and win that ring?
It'll be a massive blessing for me just to be able to do this. My first year playing football, so to be on such a big stage like this, it'd just be a big blessing. Yeah.
What was the best advice that you ever received in your life?
Best advice I've ever received. Yeah. Once you start fearing God, that's when wisdom starts to grow. I feel like that's just like best advice I have. A lot of these things in our lives are a lot smaller than we make them, and it's just about overcoming, persevering, and continuing building your faith and trusting the process.
I would say perseverance for sure, just because, I went to 3 different colleges all over the country, so sort of had to find my way, end up starting, had a good year, and then make it here and going on 3rd Super Bowl, so I'd definitely say perseverance.
Shout out to you guys, incredible job you guys are doing. Shout out to Seton Hall.
Go Seton Hall University. Woo! I appreciate it, man. Yep.
Hi everyone, this is day 2 of our Super Bowl coverage here in New Orleans, Louisiana.
And we are bringing you behind-the-scenes coverage of our trips to both team hotels and player interviews.
All right, hey everyone, Miguel Fede here with Seton Hall Center for Sports Media. Right behind me are the doors for Tuesday's press conference with Coach Andy Reid and 8 different Kansas City Chiefs players. We got a lot of good stuff, a lot of good content. First things first, Patrick Mahomes sworn by almost every media there. Extremely difficult to get close to him, but just goes to show his reputation and how big of a star he really is. By the way, day 2 of our time here at the Super Bowl, but day 1 of the press conference here in New Orleans.
Hey guys, what's going on? This is Farnsworth Hendrickson here, back at it again with another media conference. This time we met the coach, and right now all the players are in there. We're just chatting up with people, asking them a lot of creative and intelligent questions as well too. I know everyone's surrounding Jalen Hurts right now. We took some pictures here and there, but it was extremely hard to get to him. But overall, our experience has been really educational and, more importantly, very inspiring, because a lot of people don't get a chance like this. And we took this chance. We were making this happen for all of us here at Seton Hall.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our SHU TV exclusive interview with Dean Bryan Crable. Dean, it's so nice to have you on. I'm so excited for this interview. We've been waiting forever to do this. Got pushed back because of the snow.
Yeah.
So we've just been really waiting for this one. You excited to be here?
I am really. I appreciate the invitation. Great to be here with you, Graham. So happy to have the conversation.
Yeah, everything's been going well over at the dean's office. Everything's going smoothly.
For sure. I'm in busy, manage to
course.
Keep busy. Keeps us off the streets. But yeah, things are going well.
Good. Okay, so we're just going to start with a little bit of background, how you ended up at Seton Hall, the little wild journey you had.
Yeah, I come from a long way. I started off in the Midwest. I went to school at Purdue University in West Lafayette, studied communication and philosophy. I got hired by Villanova University. I should say maybe Vanillanova University.
There we go. That's what I like to hear. No.
I worked there for about 25, 26 years. I was a professor. I was department chair. I ran an endowed institute. And then I saw an opportunity here at Seton Hall, and so here I am.
So what was the drag of Seton Hall? What made you come over to the light side, all the way from the dark of Philadelphia?
Yeah. Go Birds. But I'll say one of the things that was really attractive was sort of thinking about creating a new college, right? Not just sort of taking things over the way they've always been, but saying, what can we build together in this new college?
Yeah, so you talk about, you came in and you took over the new college, but previously it was multiple colleges that had been merged together. And for the students, that was a very confusing time.
Sure.
And we didn't really know what the direction of it was going to be. So how was that transition for you? Well, you weren't really part of the transition. You were like the end of the transition period and at the kind of fresh start of it. So how was that for you coming in and just picking up the building blocks and, starting this whole train off?
Well, I mean, a lot of work had been done before I arrived, as you said, but certainly a little challenging, to take something and say, like, well, we don't have any of these things set yet, so we have to build those together. But that challenge also is what's exciting about it, right? We're not beholden to the way things were. We can create new things.
Yeah, and it seems like the philosophy of student engagement might have changed between the two colleges. At least we here at SHU TV and I know surrounding clubs have talked about the amount of student engagement that you guys have kind of pushed in and surged into us. So I just want to know what your staff's philosophy is on that student engagement and what are you guys really looking to push for and what's your philosophy on, getting involved with the students?
I mean, I love working with students. I mean, I've done it my entire career, and from my perspective, our job is to make things possible for y'all. Like put academic policies and things in place, but really say, let's create opportunities, let's create synergies, let's create organizations or opportunities for our students to really showcase what they can do and give everybody here at Seton Hall a leg up in a real competitive market.
And I think it's important for the students to kind of understand who is representing them at the higher levels of academic leadership at this school. And do you think that that's going to be that's been a very big part of you is engaging with the students so that they know who their dean is, they know who's representing them at the highest levels, they know who's fighting for them, who's going to be creating these opportunities for them? Would you think that's a very important thing to your staff?
It certainly matters to me and my staff. I mean, we believe in really, creating those kind of relationships so that students feel comfortable with us. I mean, one of the things that I've done during new student orientation is give our new students the chance to ask me questions as a person. Not about like being dean, but about like, what might you want to know about me? Really getting that sense that like we have a relationship here. And y'all are students and I'm part of the academic administration, but we're all part of the same community.
Yeah, and I think community is a very good word. That I think we've all felt like the community has gotten a lot tighter and a lot stronger between the dean's office and the students. And we want to talk about some of the achievements, some of the things you guys are very proud of, what this philosophy is paid off on in certain areas. So what would you say are some of the biggest achievements that your dean's office has come about so far with student engagement?
Well, I'm really excited about SHU TV. Excited to be here. I think y'all are doing a great job. The team here does amazing work. And again, your coverage of the election and the inauguration with WSOU, I mean, I think it's really fantastic. But I would be remiss if I did not mention our Center for Sports Media, BJ Schechter, and his creation of Pirates in the Field experiential learning program. Because two folks from our university were just in New Orleans for the Super Bowl.
Yeah. One of our own, Farnsworth, one of our own was out there.
Yeah, and just being able to see those photos and videos from Miguel and Farnsworth, I mean, it was really exciting for me. Really worthwhile.
That's great. And, so we talk about your good achievements. What are some things that you guys are looking to pick up on, some areas that you're looking to improve so that, there's even more opportunities like that for students?
Yeah, we're always sort of looking at what we've done in the past and trying to think about how to make it better. And I mean, you would have seen it with our convocation series. My first fall, we sort of introduced the college, but this last fall we had like really what felt like kind of a pep rally, community engagement kind of celebration. And we're trying to do a lot of that, try to think through like being really intentional about how we engage our students, how we engage with one another.
So what are some of those, community events that the students can look out for, so maybe that they can enjoy them and maybe, feel more fostered in the community of South Orange as well?
Yeah, well, one thing we're doing is we're trying to create closer connections to SOPAC, the South Orange Performing Arts Center, where we have arranged, thanks to Chris Aurelio in the Dean's office, we've worked on a discount program for Seton Hall folks, and we're doing a lot to try to really increase collaboration between what they're doing and what we're doing.
That's awesome. And it's important, I think, for the students to really be fostering that sense of community and, going to things like the SOPAC, which is right downtown. You get all the nice restaurants. You really feel at home. That's kind of the reason I came here, was when I loved the village. It was amazing, and the whole thing felt very homey to me. So I think fostering that for other students is really important. Now, we're talking about all these current things going on. What are some things we can look forward to in the future? What are the students going to need to be looking out for?
All right, Graham, I'll give you all a Shoe TV exclusive. Not something we've talked about anywhere else, but it's an initiative that I'm calling One College, One Exhibition. It's on the model of like a one-book program, but we're going to have one art exhibition on campus next fall. And our idea is to create a bunch of programming that connects together all of the departments and disciplines, faculty and students in our programs, coming together around the theme of American truth-telling.
Okay. Can you go into a little bit more detail on that? So American truth-telling as a theme, what does that pertail for you?
Well, we've worked with an artist and a nonprofit collective, and we're going to be hosting a collection of portraits of American truth-tellers on campus at SOPAC, we think, across campus actually. And then we're going to program a whole series of events across the month that'll engage music, theater, all of our different programs, K through 12, education folks, mental health, like all kinds of things that draw across our college.
So this is something that's going to be impacting every student, and every student's going to be able to participate in?
There are going to be a ton of opportunities, whether that's creating your own works in response, whether that's working on a design or for the logo, whether that's creating works in your class that connect to these things, to participate in some of these events. There are going to be tons of opportunities for students.
Where can we find this information? When I know it's an exclusive right now, but when the time starts coming and the more information is getting out there, where are the students going to be able to find that so they're able to sign up and participate in such an amazing event?
We're going to be coming to you through your classes, so your faculty will be talking to you. We'll be doing it in the Dean's newsletter. We'll be sending out all kinds of blasts. You'll be getting all kinds of announcements about this. We will be as relentless as Seton Hall is when you're applying for college here.
I think that's good. I mean, it needs to be thrown in your face nowadays, or else no one's gonna read the Dean's newsletter. But if the student,
please read the Dean's newsletter.
Well, I mean, it's going to be honest with you,
I know,
Mr. Crable.
But please,
not a lot of students read the Dean's newsletter. A lot of them just kind of skip over that. It is important. I agree.
I
personally read it because I don't want to miss it. So professors and all sorts of staff and faculty will be pushing this.
Oh, for sure.
So that way, we get as much participation as possible.
Yes, it'll be hard to miss.
Good, that's good. And one last question for you, and I think this is something that is important. We want to get you to know you better. This is the whole point of this, is that we want to understand who our faculty are.
Sure.
We want to understand the purpose that they have here on campus and what their mission is and what their goals are. But, if you don't like the place you're working, why are they here? So I just want to ask you what your favorite part of Seton Hall is.
I will say, coming from where I came from before, I appreciate the diversity of this campus. I appreciate also the focus on educating first-gen students. But honestly, really, it's the people, it's the community. Like the alums that I've met, the students that I've engaged with, our faculty, our administrators. I mean, it really is the community here at Seton Hall. It's the people.
And I think that's how we all feel here. I think it's one big family, especially here at SHUTV. We're one big family. I feel like most of the clubs and most of the colleges are like that. And I'm so glad that that's your favorite part, because it's one of my favorite parts too. And I think it's the most important part when deciding a school, because if you don't want to be stranded and you don't want to be alone, and I'm glad that your faculty has taken a big step in making that happen for all of us here at Seton Hall.
Me too.
But that is going to do it. Thank you so much, Dean, for coming and doing this interview with us. It is very much appreciated. Thank you to SHU TV, all of the staff who worked on this, the amazing production guys in the back. Shout out to all of you. You've done an amazing job so far. And shout out to the University Center for giving us an amazing home where we are able to make stuff like this happen. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Graham.
Have a great rest of your night. Everyone at home, thank you so much for tuning in to Campus Nightly. I'm Graham Marshman, and good night.